How much money does Rita Bush owe? Oh, a lot.
Like 41,000 or something.
He brought me more paper at work in this week.
Good morning. Welcome to the Brookings County Commission meeting, Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. I'd like to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please stand? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3 on the agenda is an invitation for citizens to schedule time on the commission agenda for an item not listed. There's a 5-minute time limit per person. Anyone wanting to speak during this agenda item must sign in prior to the start of the meeting. No commission action will be taken during this agenda item. Any requested action item may be scheduled for a future meeting. We have one individual this morning, Nancy Stewart. Would you please come forward?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear Brookings County Commissioners, I sent a copy of the letter to your email that I sent to Secretary of State Monet Johnson regarding my thoughts about the results of the post-election audit of the June primary election. I am not sure if you have or will read it, so I've come today to bring it to your attention. My name is Nancy Stewart, and I am a registered voter in Brookings County, South Dakota. In recent years, I've become more involved in South Dakota politics after spending most of my life in the business sector and in the 501c3 world of churches and nonprofit organizations where discussion of politics is taboo. The issue of election integrity especially caught my attention. I heard about nationwide problems with Dominion tabulators and ES&S software. Being a computer programmer and IT expert, I was dismayed to find out that Brookings County uses these systems. Since then, I have worked as an election day poll worker, poll watcher, absentee ballots counter, and I ran in an election. I have not seen enough to convince me that our tabulator is programmed to produce true election results. I have attended pre-election testing of the machines, watched the ballots being counted the night of the election, and attended the post-election audit. The reason that I am here is to let you know that although I was happy that there was a post-election audit, I was disappointed by the results. Based on the criteria from the Secretary of State's post-election audit guide, 2 races were audited. One was the statewide election of the Democrat presidential primary race, the only one on those ballots. 115 of the county total of 551 Democrat votes were audited and the totals matched. The criteria for selecting the other race was a contest that consisted of 2 votes of the Republican ballots. That's right, only 2 votes of the 7,538 Republican votes on over 2,000 ballots made it through the random selection process. A grand total of 1.4% of votes were audited. This is not reassuring that the machine tabulates the votes correctly. Random sounds fair, but is not always the best way. We have an important election coming up with national offices on the ballots, plus probably some ballot issues that will have a lot of money at stake. Whether we have hand-counted or machine-counted ballots, we need to have adequate audit procedures. The state legislatures put the criteria into place until the general election, but I would like to ask the county to add more criteria to ensure an adequate percentage of votes be audited after the next election. Thank you for your service to our county. Sincerely, Nancy Stewart. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing those concerns forward, and thank you for your service to the county. Item number 4 on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any additions, corrections? Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 5 is consent agenda items, which includes the minutes, travel education, personal action notices, cellular authorizations, and human services report. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve. Second.
I A motion and a second. Any additions or corrections? Any comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Vanderwall.
Aye.
Bartley.
Aye.
Krogman.
Aye.
Hostler.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number 6 is routine business, approval of the claims. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Bartley.
Aye.
Krogman.
Aye.
Hostler.
Aye.
Vanderwall.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is department head reports. Sheriff?
Morning.
Orange. Morning.
Don't have a lot to report other than we've been busy, just like I guess other departments are busy too. A lot of complaints, speeding, traffic complaints and that. But I am 2 deputies down with one at the academy. He started his 5th week yesterday of 13 weeks, and then I have one out on maternity leave. So, but the rest of the shift, they've all stepped up and we're getting some coverage around the lakes and so, patrolling around the lakes. Now with 4th of July, that usually, the weather might, who knows what the weather's gonna be, but we do, Hamilton County always stays busy up in that Hamilton County area on the 81 that goes through. Sometimes that filters into us. Sometimes we help them out, they help us out over the 4th of July. So not too concerned about that. In the detention center, we got 49 inmates. 15 is inmates from Brookings County, the rest are from other counties. The 24/7 area continues to stay busy. We still have 147 occupants. So we have 42 on PBTs, so that's 84 people that come in twice a day. We have 9 on remote breath tests, 16 on Scram. We have 55 on UAs, and they come in twice a week. So again, that keeps that area busy. We're still receiving 911 hang-up calls. They're not as bad as they used to be. I think for the month of June, we responded to 35 hang-up 911 calls compared to 25 the month before, but that's still better than it is. So that is getting better to some degree, even though we are up. Other than that, I'm going to take some vacation starting tomorrow, and I'll be back on the 10th. Unless you guys have some vacation. If you guys have any questions.
Any questions, Sheriff? Yeah, thank you. Lori?
Good morning.
Morning.
Let's see, myself, Jennifer, and Stacy have been busy with budget. Provisional budget will be finished up in a couple weeks. Process of uncollectible mobile homes will be presented later in the meeting. I just want to say a thanks to Matt and Scott over in the Sheriff's Office for their help. Letting you know, I did speak with Legislative Audit. They are going to be starting Lincoln County soon, and then we'll be coming to Brookings. I reached out because I really think that we need to go back to what we did years ago, our audit being the same, but in addition to that, doing an audit on some of the outlying offices, the ones that have a lot of cash or inventory. We used to do on a rotating basis. We didn't do them every year, but probably every 2 to 3 years. I just think it's really good practice to keep on top of those offices. I don't know a lot of what they do. They've got, both new programs, new staff. I think it's just something that fiscally responsible, I think it's worth the time. They would do it at the same time as our normal audit, so cost would not be increased very much. But we could make sure everything is on board where it should be, everything is flowing through correctly, nothing is getting missed. So if that is something that you guys would want to do, they just ask that if you have anything in particular you wanted checked, anything like that, let me know. But otherwise, I really suggest that we go back to doing that. It was good practice before, I think. I also sent out information. House Bill 1194 was passed, and that affords counties the opportunity to charge TIFs. I checked with a few other counties. Pennington County charges $10,000 per TIF. Hand County charges $3,500 for every year that a TIF is active. And Brown County is considering charging $40,000 a TIF. So it's something you might want to think of. Mike Bockerny with the Economic Development Association is compiling a list from all the counties of what they're charging or thinking of charging. I will try to get a hold of that and get it to you guys so you can use that. Related to that, I kind of wanted to have our office and the equalization office put together just kind of a little TIF info session to explain the process of the TIFs, how it runs through our offices, and why we're coming up with the problem of when a TIF is the disillusionment of a TIF with those funds. We ran into that on our last legislative audit that we had done. We will have one more that will be affected. And I think it would be good for the commission, also the incoming commissioners, to see how that runs through the offices. I've contacted Legislative Audit and Department of Revenue several times. They still have no answer as to how those should be handled at the end of a TIF. So still working on that. I don't know if it's something you would want to do during a commission meeting, or if you would want a little info session where there could be question and answers kind of thing. So let me know what you think on that. The hand count for the 24 primary took place on June 24th, and we matched our tabulator 100%. We had 3 individuals show up to watch. We had 4 actually, and we pulled 1 into work. If you recall at the canvas, I drew the activity center as the vote center to count and the committee precinct 15 committee man race. There were only 2 votes for that. I do agree with Nancy. However, we did pull according to what we were supposed to. So I do want to say for the counties, sometimes when the constructive criticism or thoughts come from the public at the county level, when those are presented, the counties are feeling like they are getting the finger pointed at them when the counties really are following what we are supposed to do. And the complaint is really for the state level. So I just want to point that out to people listening, that even though you're hearing those complaints here, they aren't necessarily about here. I did get feedback from a lot of people who were previously questioning the integrity of the election process, both on social media and in person, and they really appreciated the transparency that we tried to give by moving the elections up here and keeping people informed. We had a great staff and a great support staff at every election. Brookings County has a really, really great election team. Using the number of ballots from the 2020 election, I'm figuring that we will probably going to have to increase our numbers of counters by 3. We had 2 for this last hand count. I'm thinking the hand count in the fall is going to probably be about $2,000. It was about $600 for this last hand count to take place. Let's see, what else do I got? September, I want to say it's like the 27th, 21st. Do you know what the date to register to vote in the next election? I want to say it's September 21st.
Well, for the general election, the absentee voting begins Friday, September 20th. The voter registration deadline is 15 days prior to the general election, which is November 5th. So I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I think I want to say something like October 20th, something like that. Yeah.
October 21st. So if you want to vote in the general election, get registered by then. If you want to help with elections or hand count, let me know. We're always looking for people to help. And that's about all I have.
Any questions, Lori? The question, I did have one for the TIFs. If you were to charge a fee, where would those dollars go?
We haven't been given anything for that yet. I assume into our general fund, but
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Bob from zoning?
Good morning. We attended the budget hearing on the 19th. I took the day off on June 26th. Had a FEMA IPAWS meeting on June 28th. And on June 26th, we got the new dollar amount for damages before we can apply for federal assistance. And for Brookings County, they based it off our 2020 census of 34,375 people. It's $4.60 a person, so we have to have a minimum of $158,125 before we can request assistance from the federal government. And of course, in South Dakota itself, there's 30 counties that's met their match. But every county doesn't have the population that we have, but they do have the $4.60 per person amount. I requested that the Sheriff's Department do a drone flyover, and they did, and I also requested a stream flow check on the Big Sioux River down in Madera Township. I haven't received that yet, but you can tell the water's definitely running. There's the picture of the map if you want to see it. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you had that. Yeah, there it is. And I don't have a real trained eye, but it looks to me like this one's just running just absolutely full. And it is going to the south on that side, but looks like she's running full on both sides right now. So it'd be interesting if they get those water measurements to me on exactly what it is. And do you have a particular day of the week that you would like to have our public hearing on that? I'm gonna force them into having our public hearing. I'm gonna probably have to take the lead on it. And is there a day of the week or and a time that you would prefer? I realize we can't make
Public
everybody.
hearing or public meeting or,
I think it'd probably just be a public meeting,
right?
not an official hearing, but a meeting to allow the public to come in and provide their input, and we show them what we've got, and they can explain what they would like.
Commissioner Vanderwall, do you have any?
Are you thinking in August, Bob?
Well, it's going to have to be the end of July or in August.
On the 13th of August, we have a joint meeting, so that 13th is out, but otherwise,
I could possibly look at 8 or 9 August would be good, or we could look at August 1 and 2. Is there a time of the day that some of the people is going to work, obviously, and some's not? Or that's a wrong thing to say. They work different hours.
I think the evening would be the best on the 9th in like at 5:30 or something, 6 o'clock.
Okay. Do it on a Friday, you think? The 9th would be a
If
Friday.
that's possible, I guess.
Well, what we could do is try. I'd have to check at the BCOAC, and I figured I'd use the same room that we use, like the township and county meeting with. And I don't know if the small meeting room would hold it, the one that holds 40 people. I'll talk to Scott Smith on that, and we'll figure out a meeting room.
And I'd have to work with the engineering department too, so, with banners.
Oh,
So,
by all means, yeah, they're gonna be the one, we've already contracted for them to do the meeting for us. I'm just gonna have to take the lead and tell them what day we want it and go from there. Very good. Any other questions?
Thanks, Bob, for taking the lead on that, so we can make some progress on this issue.
We need to, so, well, thank you. You're welcome.
Misty from the weed department?
Good morning. I have just a short report for you. I just want to let you know townships will be completed today. We're on the tail end of that. We're grateful for it, fighting the wind and the rain. County roads, they're 3/4 the way done, but with the wind we've had lately, we're stuck. I also want to mention that, yes, we do mosquito fog small acreages, where we need a wind 10 mile an hour or less in order to fog correctly for mosquitoes. There's a charge. Folks are welcome to call out in the county, not within the city of Brookings, but out in the county. They're welcome to call 605-696-8352, leave a message, or they're welcome to also send me an email. That's on the website. I've had a few calls between wind, rain, we're putting it off. We're trying to give each individual that calls for mosquito fogging the best bang for their buck. We don't want to fog for mosquitoes one night and have it rain the next night, because then they're just out that money. So we're working on that. I just want to let you know, every year, generally, the counties surrounding us do a spurge bug collection. I usually attend. There's barely any spurge bugs. There's not enough bugs to have a collection. So Brookings County Weed and Pest will not do a spurge bug collection this year. We'll look into it for next year. And generally, when I do that, I bring back extra releases and give landowners that have an issue with leafy spurge, I give them bugs. It costs me my time to sweep for the bugs, and obviously my wage. And generally, that's during work hours. Also, just want to let you know, the Good, Bad, Ugly Weed Tour, we had out at the 1898 Ranch, we had about 40 to 50 people, give or take. We identified 75 native species on the 1898 ranch. That was truly amazing. Hardly any invasive species, whether it be leafy spurge, Canadian thistle, bull thistle, musk thistle, wormwood sage. It was an amazing tour. We are very thankful for all their help. That is all I have. Do you have any questions for myself?
Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll move over item number 7. We do have a 9 o'clock, but we'll move on to regular business. Item number 8, action to approve resolution number 24-24, a resolution approving annexation of territories by the city of Aurora. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments?
The resolution from the city of Aurora was actually approved back in 2018, and usually those resolutions then come to the county commission for approval. This one, looking back through all of the records that I have, I can't find that the commission ever approved this annexation, so this is just sort of some cleanup work that we have.
Okay. Any questions? Hearing none, call the roll.
Krogman?
Aye.
Hassler?
Aye.
Vanderwall?
Aye.
Bartley?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, action approved resolution number 24-25, a resolution approving uncollectible mobile homes to be placed on the uncollectible list. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move. Second.
A motion and a second. Comments?
This is a listing of mobile home taxes from 22 payable and 23. As per South Dakota Codified Law 102218, every year a process begins with the listing in January and ends with the sheriff's sale 6 months later. This is a listing that remained unpaid on June 26th. You can see there were 2 mobile homes that were sold that day. 9 turned up as having been destroyed. There was 1 mobile home that moved out of county and 4 that were uncollectible. Those uncollectible do stay in our system, so if an opportunity arose where I could get payment on those, I would do so. There's also a resolution included to move these mobile homes to the uncollectible list.
Okay. Any questions? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Hassler.
Aye.
Vanderwall.
Aye.
Bartley.
Aye.
Krogman.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number C, action approve agreement number 24-60, an application for occupancy of the right-of-way of county highways made by Sioux Valley Energy in Brookings Township. Do I have motion approved?
So moved.
Second.
I have motion and second. Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carried. Item D, action approve a request to close Broadway Avenue in Aurora for gala days. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and second. Any comments?
I have had been visiting with Pat Tingle with the committee over there, and they are aware of, this changes that may need to be made based on kind of what the sewer project is doing at that time. But so they're aware of that project too, and we'll plan detours accordingly. But otherwise, it's just the typical route.
Sheriff, this in the past has went well over there. There's been no issues. Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carried. Item E, action to approve request to fill vacancy for Veteran Service Assistant in the Commission Department. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments?
This is due to the resignation of Courtney Steffen, our current Veteran Service Officer, and then the promotion of Matt Pillar to that position, which opens up Matt's position to be advertised and hired for at this time.
Okay. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 9, Commission Department Directors Report.
I can start here and see how far along I get. I don't know, the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners is starting a new monthly webinar. The first one was yesterday. I don't know if any of you attended that, but they had several people speaking. It was maybe about half an hour or so. So yeah, those are going to be monthly now, the first Monday of each month. So make plans to attend those. I'm sure they'll be sending out links as those come up. I did hand out a notice to you this morning of a wind turbine going up near Ballatin, Minnesota. There's a comment period to make. It exceeds obstruction standards is what the issue is. So you can read about, just to hand out some postcard information there. If you have any questions or concerns, visit with me about that. County Development Director Bob Hill did provide me with a quote for a generator. I know during budget discussions we talked about getting a generator in place. Was that out for the BCOAC, I believe? Or to have one ready to go out there. So just shy of $50,000, $48,700. So if that's something that you want me to put in the budget for commission projects, that'll be another, it really won't affect the 2025 document because I always just do commission projects as a supplement because I don't know kind of where we're going to be at year end. So if this is something you want me to add to the commission projects list, I can sure do that.
Sounds good.
Okay? And I think we're at 9 o'clock, so come back to me.
Okay, we do have scheduled agenda items, 9 o'clock. We have second reading and public hearing. Ordinance number 2024-03, an ordinance establishing a 45-mile-per-hour speed limit upon a portion of Brookings County Road 16A, also known as 214th Street. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I would now open the public meeting. Any proponents who would like to speak to this agenda item? Any proponents that would like to speak to this agenda item? Any opponents? Any opponents would like to speak to this agenda item? I would now close the public hearing. Is there any comments? Is there any comments?
Just that this is the portion of 214 that we just recently took over.
Yes, I'd like to add, this is a section of the road west of Aurora that connects up to 34th Avenue. No questions? We'll call the roll, please.
Aye.
Bartley?
Aye.
Krogman?
Aye.
Hassler?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B on our second scheduled agenda item is second reading and public hearing on ordinance number 2024-04, an ordinance authorizing the Brookings County Board of Commissioners to declare a fire danger emergency and to prohibit open burning within the county. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I would now open the public meeting. Any proponents that would like to speak to this item?
Yes, Robert Hill, Brookings County Emergency Manager. This ordinance mimics one from some other counties in South Dakota, whereas if the National Weather Service produces a red flag warning and the federal government puts out the warnings that burning should be prohibited, then it automatically kicks in. This does not change the nuisance ordinance. We will still have the nuisance ordinance in place for long-term dry spells and things like that where the county commission can do a burn ban. But this is strictly in case of a red flag type warning put out that can be documented. Thank you.
Okay. Any other proponents? Any opponents would like to speak to this item? Any opponents like to speak to this item? I now close the public hearing. Any comments from the commission?
Bob,
Yes, sir.
so this puts the call into your office, right? Your Office of Emergency Management would make that call on when this happens, right?
Yes, I would contact the 911 center
And make that call.
and
Gotcha.
we'd put it out over social media and the county websites and everything.
And then would you also then have the authority to take it off?
Once the warning, red flag warning expired, then this would expire automatically. But yes, we would announce that also.
Okay. But you also mentioned that we have, as a commission, have the ability to put a burn ban on for an extended period of time if it's dry weather and dry things, even though it's not an emergency?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bob, you would still encourage people that at any time, if they're going to burn, to notify dispatch?
Yes, in the actual nuisance ordinance, it recommends that anytime you burn out in the county, just go ahead and call the non-emergency line, the 605-692-2113, and let dispatch know you're burning so that they can notify the local fire department in case it gets out of control. They would at least have some warning ahead of time. So you are correct.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Most of this, of course, is just common sense, you know, and I feel like our Brookings County citizens have done a pretty good job here in the last couple of years about not burning when it's going to be really windy. So as a volunteer fireman, I do appreciate when anybody calls a burn in, so that way, you know, emergency services doesn't fly out of town to attend something that's under control. But again, I think this is common sense, and I want to thank the Brookings County citizens for doing what they do.
Any other? Hearing no other, call the roll, please.
Bartley?
Aye.
Krogman?
Aye.
Hassler?
Aye.
Vanderwall?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Going back to Commission Assistant information.
We received information from the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners that our dues are going to increase in 2025, potentially. In September, I believe they're going to bring that to the organization, to the counties to vote on in September on raising dues. Ours could potentially go up over $2,600, so that will be something that we'll be voting on at in September, I do believe. And then also got information that NACO is raising their dues as well. Currently, we pay $639 every year to be considered a NACO member. I don't know, I reached out to membership, but I did not hear what that dollar figure is yet, just haven't heard back from them, so I keep you posted there. I have to look at our budget to see if the current budget, as tentatively approved, will be able to handle those increases once I know more on the NACO side of things. The other, the city opened up bids for the custodial contract for this building. The current one ends at the end of July. So we did get 3 bids submitted for that. One of them, the low bid did come within our proposed budget, so we're happy with that. It is something different than what we currently have too. So I'll kind of keep you posted on that as we move forward. On Tuesday, August 13th, they were planning another joint city-county meeting to hear, I think, an ordinance, a rezoning ordinance, again, in the joint jurisdiction. I know I've heard from a couple of you. What is your, I think I heard from Sean and Kelly have both said that they could make that. Do I have at least one more who can make that? 5:30 on the 13th.
Yep, I can go.
Yes, yes, okay. And then other than that, I just have these upcoming dates. Offices here will be closed on Thursday for the 4th of July holiday. So you can kind of mark on the 13th then is kind of the next thing. It's Tuesday evening, 5:30. I'll get that added to our public notices for that joint meeting with the city council on that rezoning. Our 10-county meeting is Wednesday, August 14th up in Watertown. The Conservation District Tour is Thursday, August 15th. I believe you'll be getting kind of a personal invitation to that here shortly. We'll get some additional information, but make sure that that's on your calendar. Labor Day is the 2nd. We'll be closed that day. And then we have a fall convention out in Rapid City, September. The meeting itself is actually the 17th and the 18th. Monday, the 16th is the kind of fun golf day out there that they do. I know I've heard from a couple of you. I guess I'm kind of looking, the registration information now is in front of me. So if you plan to attend that, please let me know. And if you want to golf, let me know that as well. That is $50 that you pay for yourself. The county doesn't pay for that for golf, but, and it's not like a county team. You go out there and they divide everybody up, kind of luck of the draw. I think you kind of submit your score, and they try to divvy up the teams and whatnot. So, but yes, please let me know if you plan to attend that and want to do the golf as well. That's all I have.
Stacy, one quick question. The 17th of September, do we have commission that Tuesday morning?
No, we moved it down one more week, yeah. We have a kind of a 2-week break there. Yep. Because convention got moved to that week. Usually convention's a week ahead, it's kind of in between those two, but probably based on availability of hotel space, they moved it down a week. So we moved our meeting to, I believe that would be the 24th then.
Okay. Moving on, State's Attorney's Office report. Item number 11, is Commissioner reports and discussion items. Commissioner Vanderwall.
Thank you. On Tuesday, June 18th, I attended the ice cream social at the Research Park. On Wednesday, the 19th, we had the county budget hearings here. And on Thursday, the 20th, 214 meeting. And then on Monday, the 24th, I stopped by when they were doing the hand counting here at this room. That evening, I attended the BCOAC RSO Appreciation Supper. It was a good attendance. Thank for those folks that volunteer their time. On Tuesday, the 25th, I stopped by the Brookings City Council meeting, and then last night, Monday, July 1, I stopped by at the White City Council meeting. That's my report. Thank you.
Commissioner Bartley.
All right. On the 18th, the quarterly strategic planning with the city and county luncheon, I attended that. On the 19th, the budget hearings we were all at all day. 24th was Brookings Behavioral Health and Wellness Board meeting. It was a Zoom meeting. Project is going as planned, and if you haven't been by there's a big hole in the ground for the new addition to the building. On the 26th, I was in Pierre for the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners. We had a strategic planning session, and this was a follow-up meeting to that strategic planning session. This is where the increase in dues was formatted out of that. There were a couple other things as far as staffing of the office out there. We need additional staff, so part of that was part of the budget process there too. So that was a good meeting. And then on the next day, I had a meeting of First District, involved a little bit of a golf outing. It rained, so we did a simulator. And I've never done a simulator, and I didn't do very well at that. But anyway, that was my report.
Commissioner Krogman.
Yeah, obviously at the budget hearings also, and then on the 24th, we had a Brookings Health meeting. We got an update from the investment authority there, and then also on the 26th, we had a beta meeting looking for the appraisal for the building on our property at there to be in this week. And so once we get that, we'll have some discussions on moving forward with that. That's all I have.
Commissioner Hostler.
Yeah, on the 18th, I also attended the Research Park Appreciation Night, and then, of course, on the 19th here for the budget meetings. On the 24th, we had the BCOAC RSO Appreciation Dinner. We had great attendance. Again, I'd like to convey, like Commissioner Vanderwall, thank those RSOs for everything that they do and all the time they put in. On the 26th, attended the BEDC board meeting, and on the 27th, I had the Brookings Domestic Abuse Shelter Board meeting. And that is my report.
Okay, on the 18th, also had our strategic planning meeting. School district and city utilities both have big projects going on. School projects are going good, and so are the city projects. On the 19th, budget meetings all day. On the 20th, Railroad Authority meeting, finalizing our group. And on the 24th, also attended the Range Safety Officer Appreciation Night, and I too would like to thank the volunteers for all they give to the Outdoor Adventure Center. And that is all I have. Item number 12 on the agenda is executive session. in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2, parentheses 1, personnel. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Enter into executive session.